Alrighty, what's up everybody? It is I, once again, your travel god of extreme, Peter Joseph here for a late, not too late, but it's late, Sunday night video, right here, once again, on the Peter Joseph YouTube wrestling channel, youtube.com/Peter Joseph. Thank you for watching, make sure you like the video, hit that subscribe button down in my pants, otherwise known as the description box below, as we're pretty much over the 1/4 mark as we get to 950 subscribers. We're getting there. We're on that road to 950, and then on that road, that gigantic road to 1,000 subscribers. Hopefully we'll hit it by the end of the year. We've got about 2 months to go. I think we'll get there. I think we have a good shot to get there. So about a little under 3/4 of the way, about 72 away from the big mighty 1,000. I know it took a long time to get to 1,000, but I don't give a shit. But it is what it is. But thank you all for subscribing. Keep subscribing. If you haven't already, please subscribe. If you're new here, you haven't seen my channel ever, and you're thinking about subscribing, please do. And when you do subscribe to my channel, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax. You grab yourself a cold one, which I don't have right now because I'm going to bed soon. If I do, I kind of have one, but it's, done. It's all the way in the kitchen. I'm not going to go get it. But anyway, grab yourself a nice, tasty, cold one. Put your feet up and enjoy the show. You like it? Great. You don't? Go fuck yourself. That's that. Alright, so just like, share, subscribe, leave a comment on the video if you like, but don't leave stupid comments. You'll get sent to the Shadow Realm. Satan and Ozzy will bite your head off and then eat your soul. So don't do it. And don't forget to follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you dare. And that's pretty much it. And share the video all over the internet as well. Moving on. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, on this very rainy, it's getting bad now. It wasn't that bad earlier today, but now, overnight, going into Monday, it's going to be a mess. You might be able to hear it in the video, maybe not, but it is windy as balls right now. The gusty winds are getting around 40 to 45 miles an hour. They're going to be around 40, maybe 50 tomorrow as we get into the morning hours and the afternoon. Then it's going to start going down probably before 6 o'clock because all the watches and warnings are going to be expired by 6 o'clock tomorrow night, or tomorrow evening, tomorrow night. So we got about a little over 12, 15 hours more of this garbage rain. And then Tuesday's going to calm down. Still a little bit windy, but the rain is going to stop, thankfully. And then the rest of the week should be fine until we hit Sunday. Next Sunday through next Wednesday is going to be crazy. So, right in the midpoint. We're at about to hit the midpoint of October. And, temperatures are not that bad. Gonna get down to about 58 on Thursday, and then back up to 70, and then boop, 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 up and down like my dick in your mom's ass. But, that's the way it is. That's the way the weather is sometimes. Sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down. That's why we're sick so much. Because you can't get any days that are just steady. Doesn't get too hot, doesn't get too cold. What are you gonna do? It is what it is. But I hope you got your flu shot, because, the winter's coming, and if you haven't got it yet, you're probably going to be screwed. I already got mine, and I'm still feeling the after effects from it. I got it Fridays, as of this video, it's about to hit Monday morning, so it's, most of Friday, so count, I got it Friday, Saturday and Sunday, so it's been 2.5, pretty much, 2.5, getting on three full days of, I got since I got the flu shot. I'm feeling great, but my nose is like, bleh, I know. My voice is coming in and out. Not all, it's good, but sometimes it gets a little bit scratchy and thing, and I had a little bit of a cough. So, but that's it. But we move on. Week after next, I have to get the shingle shot. That's probably not going to be fun with the after effects of that. So, but not this coming week. The following week, I have to put in my prescription for the shingle shot. And I got to see, how I feel after that. There's some things I want to, I'm doing, and I got some events to go to before Halloween. I got one on Halloween night, a big metal concert I'm going to. So, not anybody you know, but, just gotta do some work, hopefully I don't have to miss it. I mean, I'll gut it out if I have to, but, it's not a big thing I have to go to for work, but just the thing I'm covering, because a couple of my friends are going to be playing there, so we'll see what happens when we get to Halloween, which is 2 weeks from Friday, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be at the end of on October, and then we'll start pretty much the countdown to the holiday season, with Thanksgiving and the greatest month in the world will be starting pretty damn soon, ladies and gentlemen. Pretty damn soon. I think about 6 weeks, I think. Let me see it. Let me check my good old calendar. I think we're about 6 weeks away from Thanksgiving. As of Thursday, 6 weeks from Thursday is Thanksgiving. And then pretty much 9 weeks from Wednesday is the greatest day in the world. With we all know what that is. Another day older, but we get that. So 9 weeks till Christmas, 6 weeks till Thanksgiving, and 10 weeks to the end of the year. So it's getting there, ladies and gentlemen. Almost getting close to 2 months to my the greatest day in the world. We all know that. And Christmas, too. So I said 9 weeks. 9 times 7 is 56. You add Monday and Tuesday. So 62 days, ladies and gentlemen. 62! So just about 2 months away. Well, yeah, it's 2 months and actually, take that back. It's not 62. It's about 72, somewhere around there. As for this video, 2 months and 10 or so days. 2 months, 10 days, and a bunch of hours. So we get that. So if your math is correct, mine's not, because I'm old. 71 days, a little over 70 days and change until Christmas. Well, Christmas Day, Christmas Eve will be 70 plus change. So, like I said, 2 months and a little bit of change till Christmas. So, we're getting there. But by the time, if you blink, you'll miss it. By the time you wake up, you're like, oh, what happened? It's 2026, fucker. Wake up! Alright, we get that. Alright, but hope everybody had a great Sunday. Not so good here in the Northeast with the Nor'easter, which is going to be finishing up by, ramping up tomorrow, then kind of ending Monday night into Tuesday, and then it'll be nice for a couple of days, and then back to rain again. Sucks! And we get that. If you're a Niners fan, you didn't have a good day because they lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 30-19. But the big part of the game, I'm not doing I usually do a post-game video for the Niners. This week I'm not, because I had Bound for Glory and I didn't want to do it during Bound for Glory, so get that. But the Niners lost 30-19. They ran into a good team, another good team. Not like, the Jaguars, who are a good team, good defense. But they just play like shit that game. But this game, yes, this game, they just ran, they just got outplayed, really. They had a couple of chances to win the game near the end, but the Buccaneers defense just mauled the offensive line, the horrible offensive line, and for the Niners. I mean, Dominic Puni couldn't even block anybody, and Mac and Cheese Jones was just getting sacked left and right. Got lucky in a couple of plays where he fumbled. Buccaneers get the ball, but upon replay review, the Niners get the ball back. Not that he did anything with it, but they were down 27-19 or 20-19. They could have had a chance to take the lead, but the Buccaneers got the ball back, ran down the field. They scored a touchdown, made it 27-19. Niners had like 2 or 3 chances to at least try to go down the field and maybe tie the game and get a 2-point conversion, maybe go to overtime like they did with the Ram game, and then, what happened with that game. But sadly, they did not. They just looked like shit. And then that was it. It was 30-19. Buccaneers win. They go to 5-1. The Niners go to 4-2. The Rams won today, so the Niners are tied for first. But by division record, they are still in first place by a game and a half in the division. I think the Sheepcocks won today, so they're tied. But the Niners overall have, by division, they have first place. So we got that. The big loss today was Fred Warner. Horrific injury to him. He's pretty much gone for the year with a broken freaking ankle. More of the injury curse for the Niners, and that's the way it is. I'm hoping Fred can rehab quickly. Maybe we can see him. It's only week 6, guys, so he could be out 6 to 8 weeks, and he can still come back for probably a playoff run, but, broken ankle takes a couple months to heal, so it's not like a sprain. If it was a sprained ankle, he would probably be out a week or 2, but a broken ankle is going to take time to heal, because the bone has to heal, he has to do some rehab, so it's going to take about 3, maybe 4 months. So he's out for the year, and maybe the playoffs, if they get to the playoffs. And Bosa's out for the playoffs, too. They get there as well, and he's out for the year. Kittle's supposed to come back, I hope, next week. So some reserves are going to come back. Michael Williams, and eventually Brandon Ayuk is going to come back. But I don't know what the Niners are going to do at the trade deadline. They're going to get Max Crosby. They're going to get Troy Hendrickson for some picks. They need somebody on that defensive line right now. They don't have the 2 big stars on that defensive line. And you saw it near the end of the game. The defense still kind of held its own, but, near the end just, couldn't get the job done. And they got the Falcons next Sunday night at Levi Stadium on Sunday Night Football. I don't know if they have a prayer to win that game. And then they got the Texans after that. A good team, but still a winnable game. And then after that, at home against the Rams in week 9, excuse me. They could probably lose to the Giants. That's sad. We're a Giant team, that's surprising some people, even though they walloped the Eagles. It is what it is. Speaking of walloped, how about those Jets? Ha! Oh, shit. Up 11-10 and choke to lose 13-11. But Justin Fields is probably one of the worst quarterbacks the Jets ever had. And that's saying something about Favre, Brett Favre, and Rodgers in his discount double check. two horrible quarterbacks. They were good. I mean, horrible on the Jets, but not horrible overall. But Justin Fields should have just stayed in Chicago with the Bears. 6 games, 6 losses. I don't know. I hope the Jets and Aaron Glenn bench this guy for the rest of the year. He's just horrible. And the Jets, who had a pretty damn good defense last year, they're coming into this season and they're just playing like shit. Their offensive line is garbage. It feels like the Niners. You think about it, you're watching the Jets, you're watching Niners, the Niners offensive line right then and there. Sad. Like, Jets go to 0-6. Probably 0-7 next week. I don't even know when they play next week. I wish they had the off week, but I don't even know when I think they have the off week coming up soon. The Niners don't get it until I think week 15. 14 or 15, so they got a long way to go before an off period where they can finally get all their reserves, besides minus Bosa and Fred Warner, to kind of get to near full strength. But by that time, they may or may not even be near a playoff spot, which sucks. But we get that. But it is what it is. Baseball, the championship series has started, and the Seattle Mariners went into Toronto and laid down that pipe and didn't whip them that bad, but it was 3-1 win by the Seattle Mariners. They go up 1-0 in the best of 7 series for the ALCS. And tomorrow, game 2 in Toronto, that's at 4 p.m. on Fox or FS1, and on CBS, the start of the National League Championship Series between the Dodgers and the Brew Crew, the Milwaukee, which means the Goodland Brewers. So, 2 good series. Probably be ending by the end of next week, because the October the 24th, 11 days from this video, the World Series begins. We'll see how far these 2 series go by the time we hit next weekend. And that's pretty much it. Alright, guys. After 17 and a half minutes of spiel, but I had to get the news of the day and the sports of the day done. But we get that. Next week we'll be back. I'll be back with my Niners post-game stuff. So get ready for that. And we move on. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, really quickly, it is time for your late. Getting close to late. Not out of day, but it's getting late. TNA Bound for Glory review. Alright, from earlier in the night, from the Zongus Center in Lowell, Massachusetts, which is not even close to Boston. They keep saying, oh, well, the outskirts of Boston. No, you're not. Not even close. And that's pretty much it. Tom Phillips and Matthew Waywalt, our commentary team. And let's get into it. Pay-per-view was pretty good. Couple good matches. One horrible finish to a good match. Not even a good, an epic match, but horrible booking of that finish. We'll get in that in a minute. We have a couple new champions we'll talk about. And a good night with that. We had the Hall of Fame, where Victoria inducted Mickie James into the TNA Hall of Fame. Hopefully she'll be going into the WWE Hall of Fame pretty soon. And also, Tommy fucking Dreamer, of all people, inducted the beautiful people, that's Angelina Love and the lovely Velvet Sky. They're now in to the TNA Hall of Fame. And that's pretty much it. Alright, yeah, one match on the pre-show, the Inspiration, or the Idyllics. Peyton Royce and Billy Kay, they defended the TNA Knockouts tag team titles against the former champions, M and Heather, by Alliance, with George the Iceman at ringside. Pretty decent match, but the Inspiration pick up the victory and retain the TNA Knockouts tag team titles. Who did they lose to next? I don't know. I don't know who they even lose to right now. There's not that many women's tag teams out there that I can think of. But it is what it is. And we move on. Alright, then we get to the main show. We start off with the Intercontinental Championship. We had Frankie Kazarian, the so-called king of TNA, the new champion, as he beat Steve Macklin at Victory Road a couple weeks ago. Goes against Steve Macklin. Pretty decent match, but we have a new Intercontinental Champion. Once again, Steve Macklin is a two-time Intercontinental Champion, as he pins Kazarian to regain the belt that he should have really never lost a couple weeks ago. But he's back as the champ, and we'll see where he goes this Thursday on the program. With I think we get new. I think we have a live show Thursday actually, because I don't even remember if they taped anything. I don't know. I would assume it's live this week. From where? Don't know. So we'll see what happens with that. As we're pretty much on the road to the next actual event for TNA, that's in November. I believe that's Sacrifice or whatever is next. I don't know the next event. The next pay-per-view probably won't be till January, which will be Genesis. So we got 2 events coming up, not pay-per-views, but well, you could say pay-per-view-ish, but it's an event that's going to be on TNA Plus. So that's that. But congrats to Steve Macklin for getting the belt back. And we got that. And we move on. By the way, I went 5 overall with the pre-show. 5, 3, and 1. We'll get to that 1, which is basically a tie. And we'll get that draw, whatever you want to call it. Alright, then match number 2, the Call Your Shot Gauntlet match, where we had various people. Xia Li at number 1, Mance Warner at number 20, and the object to win is to throw your opponent over the top rope to the floor. I think the final 2 face off in a regular match, and the winner gets the trophy, which they can cash in on any champion they choose for up to 1 year. So basically a Money in the Bank ladder match without the ladder. So there you go. It gets a big trophy and blah blah blah. Oh yeah, so we had my demon assassin, my demon bride, Rosemary. She was in there. Danny Luna, Jody Threat was in there for the women. Xia Li. Who else was in that? Mara Sade was in it. Or Jakara Jackson, if you're nasty. For the men, we had all the Rascals come out at one entrant. That made no sense, but okay, we'll go with that. So they came out, did their little shit. Who else was in it? The Nemeth brothers were in it. Ryan and my big brother, Nick Nemeth. Matt fucking Cardona was in it. Near the end. Some YouTuber named BDE. Yeah, you would think his initials stand for Big Dick Energy, but probably not, because he probably doesn't have it either, so I don't know who he is. I could care less. I could have entered this fucking gauntlet match and probably did some good shit. I just would have stayed away from the ladies, though. Even if Jody Threat tried to, smack me in the face, I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, what are you doing? I'm trying to win here. I'm trying to win here, too. Well, I don't care. Get rid of these idiots and then we'll fight, okay? Just shut up. Shut up and let me do my thing and get out of here. You want to fight so bad, you want to act like a bitch, then you can pretty much do an Adam Cole. Suck my dick! Bitch. But I love Jody Threat. Jody Threat's she's a nice lady. But I digress. Alright, so gets into the final two. Kazarian got involved in this, but he was really never in it. Even though Santino came out and Kazarian, after he lost the Intercontinental title, he was trying to get into the match. For what reason, I don't know. So he kind of pushed around Santino. Santino, got all mad. He's like, Cobra! Hit the Cobra, and then I think it was Nick Nemeth, or Matt Cardona basically eliminated him. And then Santino gets into the match, and then pretty much Nick Nemeth clotheslined him over the top rope. Oh, that's gonna be bad for him. Sucks. So we're getting to the end, and the final three participants, actually, the final four participants were Matt Cardona, Kazarian, who somehow was still in the match. We'll figure that one out. And Ryan and Nick. Matt Cardona tried to throw out Ryan. Ryan skinned the cat, and then tried to hold up Matt so his big brother could probably eliminate him, but Nick hit a super kick on his little brother Ryan to eliminate him. And pretty much it was down to Nick Nemeth, Matt Cardona, and Frankie Kazarian. And I believe Nick eliminated Matt Cardona, and then Nick and Kaz go at it. It was a pretty decent, match, but the outcome was kind of like, what? They go for a superplex. They hit the superplex. I think it was Kaz goes for the superplex. He hits it, but then they kind of do one of those, WWE things where they hit the superplex and then they try to pin, and one of them is gonna get the win, right? Wrong. Both men pinned each other, and then the referee's like, "Oh no, he won! No, he won!" Or what is this, Royal Rumble 2000 and whatever, when Batista and Cena allegedly tied to win? And then we remember what happened after that? Vince comes out, blows both of his quads. Stupid. So he did something like that. So Nick and Kaz, Santino comes out and basically tells Mackenzie Mitchell, and gets the mic, he says, "For the first time ever in TNA history, we have co-champions." What? Come on, dude. So Nick and Kaz are now call your shot champions. How does this work? Can Kaz? I assume Kaz can cash in, probably, and then maybe later in the match on the TNA World Champion or the Intercontinental Champion, maybe Nick comes in and says, "Hey, I want my shot too." Or what would happen if Kaz uses Call Your Shot back on Steve Maclin, wins the title, and then later on, Nick uses his shot on the World Champion or the Tag Team Champions, and he wins that belt? I guess they can do that legally, I think. I don't know. I guess we're going to get an explanation on Impact this week, but we'll see. So we get that. Alright, moving on. Alright, match number 3, we go to the ladies. The Knockouts. For the Knockouts World Women's Championship, Kaylani Jordan takes on the lassie from Australia, Indy Hartwell, with her family in the audience. 5 planes to get there. Go figure that one out. Pretty good match. Me and everybody on social media, I think everybody on social media had Indy Hartwell to win this match. But, near the end, lo and behold, Kaylani Jordan retains the Knockouts Women's Championship. I mean, there was a chance that Kaylani was going to win, but I thought that Kaylani was going to be a transitional champ. They were going to definitely give it to Indy, but I was wrong. Sometimes I could be wrong sometimes in wrestling, but congrats to Kaylani. for retaining the belt. I mean, now we'll see what happens with her next. Maybe she faces somebody from the NXT roster. Don't know. And that's that. Alright, match number 4, that 10-man tag team war between Order 4, that's with Ali, war. Now, Mustafa Ali, Tasha Steelz, the Great Hands, Jason Hawk and John Skyler, and Agent Zero. Without his glasses, he looks like a mid-cast, not big-cast, mid-cast, and his face looks like Angel Garza. What the fuck? Alright. So they take on the System of Moose. So we got Moose, Eddie Edwards, his hot wife Alicia Edwards, Brian Myers, and Fandango. This was brutality. It was brutal. At one point, I think it was one of the Great Hands. I think it was Hotch. Got busted. I mean, wide open. He was leaking, gushing blood. And then Agent Zero at one point, he beat the crap out of everybody when he came out because it was like War Games without the cage. Like every 2 minutes, another member of the team came out. So he comes out, beats the crap out of most of the System. Alicia Edwards is left in the ring. She tries to swing a kendo stick. Agent Zero grabbed it, broke it in half, and then threw it out the ring. Then he, just runs after Alicia Edwards, picks her up, hits a choke bomb on a freaking bed of tacks. Ah! Damn, Alicia Edwards is hardcore for taking that spot. Holy crap. And then Eddie comes in and is like, what did you do to my wife, you idiot? And then he gets beaten down. And then I think it was Brian Myers and Fandango come in and try to beat up Agent Zero. But it is what it is. In the end, the System get the win. I think they pinned Mustafa Ali. I forget. I don't remember who got pinned, but I know the System won. Alright, so hopefully the feud between the System and Order 4 is over, but probably doubt it. But we get that. Alright, then we go to what I still think was match of the night, but horrible finish. For the X Division Championship, Leon Slater takes on your boy, his Beltsy, Javon Evans. They went ballistic in this match. Lots of flippy-dippity-doos, lots of false finishes, the crowd's going completely berserk. Freaking Tom Phillips and Matthew Waywald are going, ah! You know? I mean, the title could have changed, or Leon Slater could have retained. I was hoping Leon would retain, but we're getting to the end, and we kind of get they were on the outside. I think they were on the outside, and the referee counted them out. So, oh no, he didn't count them out. They got in the ring barely. They kept doing all the moves. I mean, everything under the kitchen sink, basically. So getting to the end, and it was a 20-minute time limit. So they were rushing for we got 1 minute left. And then they just went at it, and then the bell rings. I'm like, what happened? Ladies and gentlemen, the time limit has expired. This match is a draw. And it was like, fuck that shit! No, we want 5 more minutes! So Santino comes out and says, hey, you want 5 more minutes? You got it, you son of a gun! So, 5 more minutes of this match, but halfway through the sudden death period, the lights go out. I'm like, now what? I'm like, Sabu, you coming out? You're dead. Get out of here. You're not coming down. So the lights go out, and then we hear the music of fucking Dark State. Why did Dark State get involved in this match? It had nothing to do with them. So Dark State comes out, beats the crap out of both guys. The match ends in a no contest. That pissed me the fuck off. And everybody in the audience and on social media were pissed. Why would you ruin a great epic match that this was with a bunch of dumb fucks like Dark State is? A bunch of rookies! Former tag team champions, they get all mad. We lost our titles to the Hardys. We're gonna beat up these two Hammerneggers from the X Division. Why? Carlos, why? I wanted a winner here. Now what happens? I want another match. I want to see this at Halloween Havoc. Make it happen, Hickenbottom. Let's go. Tuesday night. Have both of them show up. And Ava Raine comes out and says, you know what? I saw what happened. I talked to Santino. We're going to have another match at Halloween Havoc. And Dark State is banned from ringside. That's what I would do. But I'm not a booker. I'm just a schmuck from New York. But I'm not afraid to admit it. But I'm an honest schmuck. Just remember that. And a sexy schmuck for you ladies. Especially, you know who. But anyway. I'm her schmuck. Like MJF's our asshole. You know, I'm your schmuck. But I digress. With that. So that really pissed me off. Great match. Dumb booking of the finish. Dumb. Who thought of that? That guy should be fired immediately. Where we get that? Alright, after that, we go to the TNA and NXT Tag Team titles on the line. One final time. The Hardy Boys, Broken Matt Hardy, yes, wonderful. And Jeff Hardy, dude. Huh? Alright, the Hardy Boys take on the Dudleys, Bully Ray and Devon in a tables match. You know, they had ladders, they had chairs. It felt like a TLC match. Without them putting the belts, belts on the line they had to get down the belts and everything. You had to put, both members of the team had to be put through a table to win the titles. This was great. Great match. Not the match of the night. I thought Javon and Leon put on a clinic. Stupid finish. At least this match didn't have a stupid fucked up finish. They went at it. They used everything. There was a big old ladder, big old ladder at ring on the entranceway. The entrance was kind of weird because it came out this way and it came around this going normally. Almost felt like you're watching a WWE pay-per-view and it coming out from a side, a long entrance, and it comes out this way or goes out this way. But it was alright. Actually, before the match, let me get to before the match. Chris Bay! Oh, my boy, Chris Bay, he comes out looking great. He's still got that little neck injury. I don't know when he'll be cleared, if he ever comes back to wrestling again. But he comes out and announces that TNA had a record attendance for any of their pay-per-views they've had. They had 7,794 people in that arena. It felt like more than that. It felt like 10,000 plus. But that's not bad. 7,800 people. For Bound for Glory, that WrestleMania. That's not bad. That shows you the power of, WWE and NXT, the NXT TNA partnership. Which has been fabulous. Should have done it 10 years ago. But then again, it might have might not have been good. You know, we wouldn't see Trick Willie and, you know, and Oba and everybody. We would see, like, Adam Cole, baby, and the Undisputed Era. Maybe, well, if it happened, like, 10 years ago, you know, Roman wouldn't have been there, but it would have been nice to have, like, Roman versus, I don't know, from 2015. AJ was there. AJ would have had a great match with somebody from NXT. We could have saw, well, Adam Cole didn't come into 2017, so we could have saw AJ versus Nakamura, because Nakamura was around WWE around 2016-ish. But it's good now. So, congrats to TNA for getting almost 7,800 people in the building. I don't know how much the Saga Center holds. But I would say about 10,000 plus, maybe. So, almost a sellout. So, good job, TNA. Good job. Now, let's get into bigger arenas so we can get, like, 10,000 people. Maybe up that to 12,500, maybe 15,000. Maybe you could get the Garden. I doubt that, but I'm just hypothetically saying they could get maybe somewhere in New York besides, like, Nassau Coliseum, or they may get the Garden. I don't know, but I know the Garden is a WWE landmark now, but I don't know about the Barclays Center or the Nassau Mausoleum. I mean, NXT's going to be at the theater in about a month from now. I wouldn't put it past TNA to maybe. They're not going to. I doubt they'll get the Hammerstein. I don't think they're going to get the Hammerstein. I don't think they can. Because I think AEW is pretty much. I think they're going to be. I don't know if they're going to do a residency. I heard about something about them doing one, but. Well, got 2 months to go. If you want to do something at the Hammerstein, like they did last year with Rampage, Dynamite, and Final Battle, and Collision, that whole Christmas weekend, basically, which was like my birthday present, basically. I went to all 3 shows. It was just amazing. One of them I didn't even have to pay for, because I got that as a birthday present. That was the Dynamite taping on that Sunday. Because I bought the ticket for Ring of Honor, Final Battle, which was included with Rampage. And then, for Collision, I got the ticket for Collision last minute, and then pretty much last minute, it's like, hey, you want to go to Dynamite? I got tickets. I got an extra ticket. You want to go? Well, sure. But Final Battle, I had good seats because I was at ringside, so. Collision and the Dynamite taping, I was in the balcony, so. I saw everything, so it doesn't matter. Anyway. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. Moving on. Alright, Hardys and Dudleys. It's an amazing match. Like I said, they went outside the ring, put each other through tables, but both members had to get put through the tables, like I said, to win the match and the titles. There was a ladder midway right near the ring as you go up the entranceway. Big old ladder, 2 tables, and what happens? Jeff Hardy, the crazy fuck that he is, goes up that ladder and kind of recreates WrestleMania, it was 17, where he goes up the top of the ladder and he does a swanton bomb, but this time not on Bubba Ray Dudley, it was on Devon. Poor Devon. Holy shit. And basically Devon was out for the entire match, the rest of the match. Because, I don't think he got hurt during the match, or from that spot. Well, he's old. So he was a non-factor, and then pretty much after that, it was like a 2-on-1. And then they beat up on Bubba Ray Dudley, and they're about to put him through a table, and they had chairs. They're going to use the chairs. Bubba Ray Dudley's like halfway, like getting up, puts his hands on the table, and then the Hardys just like wait for him, and he turns around and stops, and then the Hardys just drop the chairs, and you see Bubba Ray Dudley go, and then basically they do a WrestleMania 25 spot where when Shawn Michaels says, "I'm sorry, I love you," then he hits the super kick on Ric Flair to end his career. Well, end his career. We don't know where he went after that. Blah, 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 blah. So they kind of do that. It's like, we're sorry, blah, blah, blah. Then they pick him up in a double choke slam through the table to eliminate him. And the Hardys retain the NXT and TNA Tag Team Championships in a great match. And that's pretty much it. Alright, then at the end, after that, the Hardys celebrate. Bubba Ray Dudley gets up. Eventually, Devon somehow got in the ring. They hug, and then both of the Dudleys take off their boots and pretty much signify they are retired from the ring. They put their boots in the middle of the ring, and that's pretty much it. I thought one of the stipulations was they had to acknowledge, if the Dudleys lost, they had to acknowledge that the Hardys were the best tag team in history. Well, not history, I think of all time. Well, not of all time, in history. Because of all time, we all know. If they would have said of all time, that would have made no sense to me. Because the Hardys are a great tag team. They're definitely in the top 25. Maybe the top 10 of all time tag teams. Depends on you or me. My list is the top 3 is Legion of Doom, Demolition, and the Freebirds. I have the Hardys on that list, but not like the top 3. They're probably like top 5 at least, maybe top 10 at most. But man, that's my list. What's your list? I already did my greatest tag teams ever on my old Gilmore Chronicles channel. I might actually redo that because there's so many new tag teams that are out now, and so I'll probably do like my top 5 tag teams of all time. I'm not gonna do top 10 or top 20 because it'll take me too long. I don't want to take too long. I'm taking too long right now, but it is what it is. So I have to get some sleep because Raw's coming up at 8. So 8 a.m. Raw, guys. So Monday morning, tea and crumpets with Raw from Australia. And then we're back in the States on Friday from, I think, San Jose. So from Australia, come back, have a couple days off, go back, and then back on the West Coast. So they're going to be on the West Coast, but do most of October, and then we get November. We kind of go east, and then go right back to the West. Go to Boston for Cena's final show in his hometown. The week after that, the final show, Cena's final show at the Garden. That's going to be epic. Then the next night is NXT at the theater. And then Cena's final Survivor Series match where he's allegedly going to be taking on Dominic Guerrero, let's say, the Intercontinental Champion. And he defends the belt against Pentagon Zero Miedo. See what happens with that, because, Rusev is still pissed off at him. I don't know if Dom will have the belt by the time we get to, not this Survivor Series, sorry, Saturday Night's Main Event. Which is coming up in 3 weeks from this Saturday. Is November the 1st, so that's when the next Saturday Night's Main Event will be. Then the final one is December the 13th, which is Cena's final match against Walter. So, four more times we're going to see Cena. We're not going to see him until the Boston show. Saturday Night's Main Event. We're going to see him that night, most likely. I don't think we're not going to see him before then. So I assume they're gonna do something where, like Cena's opponent, like probably Dom says, I beat Rusev, I beat Pentagon, I want to beat up John Cena. And Cena accepts, well, not on TV, but maybe through social media. It's like, all right, I haven't won the Intercontinental title, and I want to retire as a Grand Slam champ. And we'll see what happens with that. That'll just lead into Saturday's event, where I really would laugh if Dominic Guerrero beats John Cena. That would be great. It might not happen, but the thing is, if Cena wins the title, he's probably going to lose the title. He's not winning the title. There's no way. The only way he can lose the title is actually after December the 13th, but he's not going to lose to Walter. Then again, maybe. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen if Cena wins the Intercontinental title, becomes a Grand Slam champ? So his next appearance won't be till the Raw in Boston or the Raw in Madison Square Garden. He could lose it there. He's not going to lose it at War Games because he's technically going to be in War Games on Roman's team. It is windy outside. I mean, it is now really windy. It wasn't windy that much all day, but the rain picked up. I'm getting another inch of rain tomorrow. And, my cable is kind of wonky with the wind, with the rich man's dish. And yes, I am paying a lot for the dish. And yes, there is still dish. I didn't buy a satellite dish like from 1985. What do they call it? Dish Network, you fuckers. I mean, how stupid... Well, I shouldn't even answer that question, because you know why, how stupid people are, right? Keep drinking. Keep drinking and doing stupid streams, and then, making fun of yourself. I'm drunk, say stupid things, and you don't have no facts behind it. I digress. Anyway... But the Hardy Boys retain. Great match. Thank you to the Dudleys for almost 30 some odd years of epicness. 25, I think it's 25 or 26 time tag team champions. They've done it all. From ECW to WWE to WCW tag team champions. They've done it all. And that's that. I see where the Hardy Boys go next. Their contract ends at the end of the year, so I don't know who they lose to. Maybe the Nemeth brothers again. I don't know. They have to lose the NXT tag team titles, so that can come at Halloween Havoc. Come anytime between now and the end of the year. But we got that. Alright, then we get to the main event, ladies and gentlemen, for the TNA World Heavyweight title. Trick Williams. And during the night, he had this guy. I'm like, who the hell is this guy? Supposedly he was a paralegal. But I was like, is that Robbie Brookside? No, it's not Robbie Brookside. It's some indie guy who basically got $50 to become, to portray a paralegal / lawyer. But anyway, he takes on Mike Santana. And Mike with the red face paint on. His daughter was in the audience. I thought that was nice. I think his wife was in the audience as well. Trick comes out in white, which makes us happy. But before the match, Trick Willie beat the fuck out of Santana on the outside of the ring, which was smart strategy. But then he throws him in the ring, then the bell rings, and then they start going at it. at one point, Mike Santana got busted wide open. So, more blood, motherfuckers! So we got that. But, eventually, Mike Santana was about to spin the block. The freaking paralegal gets on the apron, and then he gets put in the ring, and then gets destroyed with a spin the block. And then Trick Willie hits the trick shot. And I was like, oh no. And then Mike Santana thankfully kicked out. And then Trick Willie backs up, tries for it again. And we see Mike Santana crawling to the turnbuckle and trying to get up. He picks his head up and he goes like this to his daughter. Pointing at his daughter, I'm doing it for you. He gets up. Trick Willie charges in for the trick shot. He missed. His knee hits the turnbuckle. And then Mike Santana goes for the trick shot. That got blocked. And then I think Trick Willie was trying for maybe a bookend or a rock bottom. That got reversed. And then Trick Willie charges again. And Mike Santana ducked. Then he looks at Trick Willie. Fuck you! Boom! Spin the block. Like a quick spin the block. Goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3, with me. No! TNA World Heavyweight Champion Mike Santana, the first ever Puerto Rican TNA champion in history. Well deserved. Should have happened at Slammiversary, because it was in New York, which is his hometown, even though he's from the Bronx. I think the commentary said the Bronx sucks. They said something about the Bronx sucking. Well, we all know that the Yankees suck, but whatever. But yeah, Mike Santana is the champ. I'm happy. Like I said, it should have happened in July. But we waited pretty much 3 months, a little over about 3 months, for Santana to finally win the TNA World title. And a great match. So he gets the win. But then, I was like, uh-oh. Nick Nemeth comes out, tries to cash in. He's about to cash in, and then we hear the lights go out, and then we hear a guitar strum. I'm like, can't be him. The lights come back on. Elijah comes back, because he's now medically cleared. I guess he got cleared that night. He smashes Nick Nemeth in the head with the guitar. Laid him out. And then Kazarian tries to, sneak attack Trick. The referee was there. Now, I don't know if you had to tell the referee, like a Money in the Bank briefcase, like, oh, I want to cash in. I don't know if you have to say, I want to cash in with my freaking trophy. So Kaz tries to sneak attack Mike Santana. Mike Santana whips his ass. Nothing happened. No cash in. So Nick and Kaz are still technically call your shot champions. They still have it. So they could cash in at any time on Mike Santana or Steve Macklin or the men's tag team champions. That's the Hardys. So we'll see what happens with that. So after all that chicanery, Mike Santana's daughter comes in, Carlos Silva comes in, puts the title around his shoulder, and then Mike Santana, a nice gesture, gives the title to his daughter, and then praises his daughter. Such a great story. Those videos were great with Conan, and mentioning Eddie Guerrero, Esse, and Rey Mysterio, that gringo. I thought that was very nicely done. And, it took the Bound for Glory, but it finally happened. Mike Santana, the first ever Puerto Rican heavyweight champion of the world in TNA. And I'm very happy for him. Very happy. And now, we'll see if he can hold it for a while. Because he's got Nick Nemeth and Kaz waiting in the wings to possibly cash in on him. But he's also got that TNA and possibly the NXT roster coming at him. and maybe a rematch down the line with Trick Willie. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if Trick goes back to NXT Tuesday and says, "Hey, how about you come back to my neck of the woods? We have a spin the wheel, make the deal match at Halloween Havoc for the TNA title." It could happen, but we're now on the road to Halloween Havoc. We don't even have a match yet. I don't think we do. No, we don't. I don't think we don't have a match yet. But I probably know for a fact we're going to get Blake Monroe and Jordan Grace probably when a spin the wheel, make the deal match. It's got to happen. Then again, it could be Lola Vice and JC Jane. If she even has the title, because she got hurt badly with her leg at a house show this weekend in Ohio. I think it was Cleveland. She got injured. She injured her leg, and then the referees, they did this, so that means she's definitely injured. So, I don't know how severe her injury is, if she has to vacate the title because of her injury. Then they have a stupid tournament, where it's like a battle royal, the winner gets the title. I don't know what's going to happen. I have to see Tuesday with the NXT Women's Championship. So I can see that as one, not that, if JC wasn't injured so bad, I can see that as a spin the wheel, make the deal match, but most likely for the women, it will be Blake Monroe and Jordan Grace, and whatever match they get, could be, can't do it, they did a cage, so cage is probably out, so probably be like a buried alive match, whatever it falls on, I guess. Maybe Devil's Playground, maybe Tables, Ladders, and Scares. Oh my. Whatever it lands on. Same thing for the men, but for the men, don't know. It could be Ricky Starks versus Oba. It could be, I don't know. It could be Mike Santana and Trick. It could be anything. We'll see. On Tuesday night on NXT. We get that. And, this Wednesday on the program, Dynamite's Go Home show before Wrestle Dream is a 3-hour show because of the championship series for baseball. So no collision this Saturday because Wrestle Dream is Saturday night. Then I think we're back. We'll probably be back to a normal basis right after that. So the 22nd, Dynamite will be back on its normal time slot, and Collision will be back on the 25th. But that's going head-to-head with Havoc. Oh, boy. Unless they put Collision on the 23rd. I mean, we'll have to see. We'll probably find out this week with next week. Next week's the 22nd. Dynamite and Collision card. We'll see what happens with that. And we got Ring of Honor this week, which the show this past Thursday was good. So, it was way better than the week before that, which was just abysmal. Garbage, that was. But, so we got a lot of wrestling. We got another pay-per-view this weekend. We got another pay-per-view the following week. And then we got Saturday's main event. Then we get a little break until the week before Thanksgiving. We got Full Gear coming up. I think we definitely have a TNA show, not a pay-per-view, but a show somewhere around Full Gear time. And then November the 30th, we have Survivor Series War Games in San Diego at Petco Park. I assume that will begin at 7 p.m. That's 4 p.m. Pacific time for you people going there. That's it. That's your November. So we got 3 big shows. We got 2 pay-per-views and a Saturday night's main event coming up in November. But we have a little bit of, we got this weekend and next weekend, and then the following week with 2 pay-per-views and Saturday night's main event. Then we got the 8th and the 15th off, so we got 2 weeks before another pay-per-view, 2 more pay-per-views, and then got Thanksgiving time off, And as we get to December, we got Final Battle coming up December the 5th. We got Deadline right after that. We got Sand Iceman event coming up. I wouldn't be surprised. No, well, they can't do Sand Iceman event. Well, they could do Sand Iceman event on the 13th. The 14th could be probably be Deadline. And then the final pay-per-view of the year is December the 27th, I believe. That's World's End. I almost said World's Collide, but that's World's End. And that's it. We're done until January 4th, 2026. Wrestle Kingdom 20. I can't believe that's 20. It's been 20 years of Wrestle Kingdom. Now, I wrote down the notes this time. I didn't have to read it from my computer. But it is what it is. Alright, guys, that is it for Bettina Bound for Glory. I thought it was pretty damn good. 7.5 out of 10 stars. Let me know what you guys thought of the show in a comment down below. And like Trick Willie would say, he still says it, but he's not the champ, but he still says it. Let's talk about it. And that's pretty much it. Alright, guys, get some sleep. We got Monday Night Raw. Well, not Monday night. Monday morning Raw coming up in a couple hours. So get ready for that. I will do my review tomorrow afternoon. So I'm not going anywhere. It's going to be, forget it. It's Columbus Day, so happy Columbus Day to everybody. To all the Italians. Those fine-blooded Italians that we are. It's our Independence Day, basically. So happy Columbus Day, everybody. I know a lot of people are off. If you do have to go to work, if you're in New York City, God bless you. Thankfully, I'm off. I'm not working on this shit. Even if I had to go out, I'm not going out. I have to see my therapist tomorrow, but she changed it from an in-person to on the phone, which makes sense because it's crazy outside right now. Heavy rain, wind, and just not a good day to go out. So I'll be doing that tomorrow. And then pretty much after that, I will do my AEW Dynamite and Collision review, and then later in the afternoon we'll do Monday Night Raw, and then we're done for the week. I don't have any more videos to do. And that's it. As far as I know, that's pretty much it. I don't have any other videos to do. But if anything comes your way tomorrow, I'll do it. And that's pretty much it. Alright, guys. Thanks for watching. Until next time, get some sleep. We'll see you in the morning for Monday Night Raw. For Monday Morning Raw. But for my video purposes, see you tomorrow afternoon for AEW Collision and Dynamite. And then we'll talk about Monday Night Raw later. So if you're not getting up to watch Raw tomorrow, and you don't have a VPN, you're fucked. Because you're gonna have to watch it later on Netflix. So if you don't see it anytime tomorrow afternoon before I put up my video, there will be spoilers. So that's why I will put spoilers in. So this video contains spoilers. If you haven't seen it, because I know some of my fans don't watch Raw because they're at work. Then they have to come home like 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and they're like, "Hey, what happened on Raw?" Then they see my video. Oh, that's what happened. No, I don't have to watch Raw. Listen to Peter. Go ahead. Listen to me. So that's that. But if you don't want the spoilers, then don't watch my video and don't get on the internet. That's that. Alright, now I'm getting out of here because my voice is going again. Alright, guys. Until next time, get some sleep. Peace.